It's a good win. There's a lot of people. It's like Woodstock, except everybody's got their clothes on.
Don't eat a damn snack.
You're like my wife when you get in space. You just get lost.
It's ahead! Short steps are better than long steps. That's the only time in your life you're going to hear short is better than long. It's ahead!
Welcome back, everyone, to 614 Headsets, the weekly show where we say football is unconditional love. We couldn't agree with the GOAT, Tom Brady himself, more. This game is a lifestyle. We consider ourselves a movement of that. We just eat, sleep, breathe, and love this game we're in. We're three high school coaches from Columbus, Ohio, and thank you for joining us. And go ahead and tell us a little bit what we're going to get into today, Donovan.
Yeah, we got a great message with Coach Evan Crabtree down at the University of Tennessee, one of my former teammates, but really get into the culture of special teams, the philosophy of what it takes to succeed as a player from a mental, physical standpoint, technique, everything like that, and then get into breaking down drills, game planning scenarios, a little bit of film work. So if you're watching this or on YouTube, you're going to get a great action just revolving around kickoff return, and a lot to do with special teams. So great episode here. If you get the chance, definitely watch it on YouTube.
For sure. I think that's a good point, right? Like, absolutely. This is a great one to watch on YouTube with the amount of film and things and drills he shows. If you were wanting to figure out some drills for special team circuits or learn some technique or some great coaching sayings or tidbits, this is a great YouTube one.
This is a perfect one for YouTube, and that's why, though, we got to get people on there, download, subscribe, support it. I'm excited for this one to be posted because people love watching film, right? People love being able to see what the person's talking about. So I'm excited for our viewers to be able to get on there and see it and get the feedback from them on how they like this episode. But make sure you guys contact Fundraising University. Make sure you guys contact First Down Playbook. Make sure you download, subscribe, because we're growing. We had another record month, right, Kyle?
We did.
Another record month, right?
Probably we're on par for this month if we didn't take a week off. 4th of July, we all earned it. We all needed it. It's been great. We thank everybody for rocking with us. We're excited to keep doing it. We can't wait to see what season 3 does.
Absolutely.
Let's get into it. As we get rolling today, 614 Headsets is proud to be presented by Fundraising University. Fundraising University Ohio offers a variety of fundraising efforts that helps football teams run profitable, effective, and fast-paced fundraisers designed to raise the most money in the shortest amount of time to reach their fundraising goals. Fundraising University Ohio is locally owned, operated, and with their 6-step blitz system will help your team maximize profits. As a current coach himself, Brent Maxwell with Fundraising University will sit down and help you pick, plan, strategize, and execute your fundraiser that will allow you as a coach to focus on your practice time, prep time, player development, and personal time. If you're interested in us running a fundraiser for you, please contact Brent Maxwell at the letter B Maxwell at fundraising.net or 740-501-8946 to learn how you can get started with fundraising.
We got another great episode tonight, episode 53, with one of my former teammates, Coach Evan Crabtree. Evan, man, Crabs, how we doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having me. That's my college nickname. I'm glad you love it from the very beginning there.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on. I could go through your background, but give us a little bit of your story, how you ended up at Miami, where you went from there, what your coaching career has been like so far. Give us a little background about how you got to where you are now.
Yeah, no, that's a great place to start. I'm an Ohio guy, born in Columbus area, but grew up in Dublin for the longest. I went to Dublin Kaufman. My dad was my coach for a while. And right out of high school, I walked on at Miami, and I wanted to be an offensive lineman. It was where I wanted my playing career to go. But quickly, I realized how small I was in comparison to the average D1 lineman, even at that time. I transitioned to being a long snapper, which worked out well for me just in learning the skill, but getting an opportunity to play early. So I played at Miami from 15 to 19. So 5 years, I played for 4 of them. I ran into old Donnie Mack there as my former teammate, but I had a great time there. And then as soon as I got done at Miami, I was a graduate assistant. Coach Martin hired me back. I worked with the offense for a year with the skill guys, which is a little bit out of my element at the time. And then I actually got moved over to defense where I was with the D line. So I had a whole lot of different experience, even in the short 2 years I was there. And then when I got finished at Miami, had an opportunity to go to Tennessee as a graduate assistant with special teams for the last 2 years. And then recently I got bumped up to the special teams analyst. So it's been it feels like it's been a short 4 or 5 years in coaching. But I've had a really good time, been around a lot of really good people so far. So it's been great. That's my background, how I got there. It's all the people along the way through Miami that I've met. Coach Martin, of course, our former head coach, Coach Shearer, our special teams coach that I played for and worked with, Coach Patton, our O-line coach. Just the list goes on, but those are some of the guys that helped me get in the position that I'm in now. But yeah, it's been a great run so far.
Coach Crabtree, I don't want you to undersell your career at Miami. He didn't mention it. Started as a walk-on, earned a scholarship, and then in 2019 was the long snapper for debatably the best kicking unit in the country with our kicker Sam Sloman that was drafted. So don't undersell your career, man. It was a hell of a time there and a hell of a time wrapping up at Miami.
Appreciate that.
Let's talk about Miami for a second, Donnie. Like, you always try to turn this podcast.
It's a Miami of Ohio podcast.
Like, we get a lot of proud alums on here.
Hey, we all know in the locker room, players just razz on each other. What did everybody razz on Donnie Mack for?
And you're missing that finger, right?
Yeah.
Part of it?
Yeah.
That was one of those things, man. Like, you learned that. Which one is it? Hold it up. Yeah, there it is. That was
a finger. He's got one ear that works.
Yeah, I didn't know about the ear, but a finger for sure. That was always something where it's like, how's that even happen? Car door or whatever it was. So that's something about old Donnie that we always got after him about. Probably not his fault though.
I can imagine the jokes in college that you could make with part of your finger missing.
Donnie gets shredded at practice all the day. Even Bruce today was shredded. He comes in these jankiest shorts every day.
No, he liked these shorts better.
He's the only guy that he showed up to coach in blue jeans one game.
One game.
He showed up in blue jeans.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
No, they were like
shredded this dude.
Yeah,
they were jeans, Donnie.
Would you run out of pants?
You're lying.
I came straight from work and I'm like, it's like at Westerville. I'm leaning up against like the wall. This is like after pregame warmups, and Bruce looks at me. He looks up and down. And he goes, "You wearing those?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "It's fine right now." He goes, "Don't ever wear jeans again." And I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, that was one.
It's
of
like,
those,
don't ever do that again.
Those first coaching lessons you learn. No jeans.
That's not even a lesson you have to learn. I feel like that's like a given. Don't do that, but not to Donnie Mack.
It's my
kind of an unwritten rule, but it's all.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Ryan, let's get to know Coach Crabtree a little bit more in the best segment.
The best segment of them all, the Pick Six segment, is powered by Story Rivals. Sports media, championships, friendships, and life lessons are among the most meaningful parts of the athletic competition. They are passionate about preserving them by offering the most unique highlight experience available.
That's right. And Story Rivals delivers your team's content with services designed to change the way you experience these unforgettable moments now and for a lifetime. Story Rivals now offers a complete team apparel and player shop customizable to your program. Contact them by email at info@storyrivals.com to schedule an appointment with a member of their team. Checked myself, as you'll find out in the episode that comes out tomorrow. All right. Sayers tried to get me again. I could see it. Go ahead.
I was going to get you, but I'll let you ride. But, hey, Coach, so I think it's super unique and super cool that you were able to play for your dad at one point. We've had, obviously, Brendan on here who plays for Bruce, which is just a cool experience, in my opinion. One of my questions is, what's one of the best memories you've had, either growing up watching your dad coach and being on the sideline or playing with him? What's the best memory you have with your father?
I think overall, growing up and being around it, you get an opportunity to experience a lot of stuff all over the place, whether that's practice or hanging around the facility, running around, meeting all the older players that you always looked up to, that I did as a kid, being at the games, traveling with the team on the bus. A lot of that stuff I was fortunate to be able to do just because of what my dad did. So as a kid growing up, I think my favorite memories were just hanging around the team, and the older guys would always tell me, put my earmuffs on when I shouldn't hear what they're talking about. Like, it was fun to be around as a little kid, hang out with the older guys in the locker room and just see how they were successful, because we were fortunate to have a lot of good players and a lot of successful teams at Kaufman where I played. And as a player, though, playing for him, I think probably the best memory, or at least the experience, was just having him be around every day, something that you take for granted. A lot of kids' dads, they're working different jobs. Maybe they're not in their life. And I was just fortunate that not only was I able to be around him every day. When I couldn't drive, he was taking me to school, to and from. So were there times where it maybe got a little bit old in the moment? Sure. But overall, looking back, that was just having him around. Senior night, after games, talking about the game as we're going home or sitting on the couch at home. So it's just little things like that that I think looking back, that was probably the best part.
Love it. Coach, my first pick six question. Again, you didn't see these questions on the sheet we sent over. They're random, and not all of them have to do with football. But you're born and raised in Columbus. I want to know, what's the best pizza spot in Columbus?
Donato's, no doubt.
I almost
Are
said,
you
I
a
hope you don't
demon?
give like
Man, might as well chew on some cardboard.
Yeah, like you're just
Unfortunately, there's
practically
3 guys that are wrong in this, and I'm
you're
not one of them.
you're sitting there eating the box of the pizza. You're just putting sauce on the box.
That's a hot take.
Fast I answer. That's number one. Number one. What are you gonna say? What's your number one? Jets.
He's a Jets guy.
I'm a
He's
Jets guy.
Okay. Well, I mean, to each their own, right?
I mean, we just went there a couple weeks ago. I'm still gonna rock with mellow mushroom. I'm gonna put mellow mushroom up there towards the top.
Yeah. Get your checkbook out.
That's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't say what's the most budget friendly. We said what's the best.
Look, Coach Crabtree, look, the fact of the matter is Kyle's been teaching forever. He's a dinosaur.
40 years.
He's one of those guys that's like a master's plus 45 making a ton of money.
Yeah.
He don't never look at his bank account, so he just swipes the card.
Okay. All right. Now
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally, guys. Yeah. All right. I had a bunch of different questions down. Finally settled on this. I think a lot of people know what an analyst does, but what's your day-to-day look like, or what's a game week look like for you in your role?
Yeah. So I work hand in hand with our coordinator, Mike Eckler. I'm fortunate that I get to work with one of the best in college football. He's been doing it for way longer than I've ever even thought about coaching. He's been coaching at a really high level. So I work hand in hand with him, and everything that I do is to support him, help him with different things, where he splits some time on defense, where he's the outside linebackers coach and the special teams coordinator. So I try to fill in where I can, where he needs me. Day to day, though, for me, it's managing what our specialists are doing just internally, as far as maybe some rep counts, things of that nature. Being with special teams, it's a little bit unique because our position group are the kickers, the punters, and the snappers. So a lot of my day is revolving around how to manage them and get them into the best position they can be in developmentally. And then from a football side, where it's more talking more about scheme and the other 10 guys on the field other than specialists, in a game week, it's going to be game planning. It's going to be looking at our opponent kind of phase by phase, whether that's kickoff or kickoff return, punt return, breaking them down by that, and then trying to come up with our best plan that we can. So the way we have been fortunate to do it is that I go my certain way on Sunday, Coach Eckler goes his way, and we meet at the end of the day and say, hey, here's what we got going into a game week. And that's sometimes it's all his idea, and sometimes he lets me throw an idea in there too. So we're collaborative, and the way he does it is just, it's the best way, in my opinion. It allows both of us to split off and think about things, and then merge together at the very end, and then get through the week as we go with practice.
Now, that's awesome. Coach, we laugh and joke around on here a lot, and I just watched a stand-up skit. Who's the number one comedian ever?
Shane Gillis. Oh, ever or right now?
Yeah. See, I was going to bring Shane Gillis up and say he's on his way to being the best ever. I was going to say that after we talked, but I'm so happy that you said that. He's the funniest dude right now. I
would say right now, Shane Gillis, but it's an acquired taste. It kind of caters to a certain audience for sure. But I'd say the guy that probably, without going way back and really old, the guy that's probably withstood the test of time is Dave Chappelle. He's probably up there as the best.
Hey, this guy, Coach Crabtree, we get along. We get along real well. Those are my two tops. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yep.
Same exact thing.
Yep.
Unity. Yeah, Dave Chappelle. Absolutely.
All right. My second question. What's your favorite environment so far that you either got to play or coach in?
Coach in, for me right now, it's Tennessee, 100%, Neyland Stadium. Now, we get a home environment. So when me and Donovan were playing, it was always we're getting booed and we're not getting all the cheers. So being on that side of it now, playing in front of 102,000 that are all wearing orange, it's pretty exciting just to be a part of and be on the sideline. So for me, that experience of being there every single week that we got a home game, that's top. It's a bucket list stadium. It's something that everybody at some point wants to see. We're just fortunate that we get to run out of the tunnel and have it be us. But as a player, gosh, growing up, I think being kind of Notre Dame supporter because of Brady Quinn and things like that, I think playing at Notre Dame was exciting. And then coming back home to play at Ohio State, which I've tried to forget a little bit about. We didn't do so well. Just in those types of environments, those types of things have been memorable to me.
The first quarter was fun, though.
Hey, we were winning.
Yeah.
First quarter.
Coach, what's one of the best things to do around Knoxville or in Knoxville? I go there a couple times. I've always loved like the small college town vibe it has. Ate down at the river a couple times. It did some things, but if I go back again someday, what's one of the things I got to go do?
Yeah. The cool thing is being in Oxford, Ohio for 5 and then 6 and 7 years as a coach, there's not a whole lot in Oxford, Ohio. So I was used to just the college town where it was like, here's the university and then nothing else around it. So when I got to Knoxville, I was pleasantly surprised because I didn't really know what to expect. The best way that I've described it is it's like a college city. There's got a college town feel. Everybody that's walking around is wearing orange. Everybody knows their players. It's really a great atmosphere, but it's also got a downtown. It's got a city aspect to it where it feels like you're not just in the middle of nowhere. So it's an awesome place. I think if you had to go and do something anywhere in Market Square, which is in the downtown part, great food, great bars, restaurants, and all that. That's a great place to go, and you can't go wrong with anywhere in there. But a little bit outside of town, there's the mountains, the Smoky Mountains. There's Dollywood, Dolly Parton's little theme park, which is way bigger than I expected. So we went over there. It's a lot of cool stuff. It's got some outdoors and nature aspects.
We vacationed there last year. We were in Gatlinburg
Did
last
you?
year for we vacationed.
Gatlinburg, yeah.
Gatlinburg's sweet. Dollywood sounds like it's up Donovan's alley, though.
Never been.
It sounds a little girlier probably than it really is.
It's good for the kids, though, too. It's
Yeah.
a great little – it was good. That's where my wife and them took the kids.
If you like roller coasters, that's a place to go for sure.
Kyle's too old for those.
Get motion sickness in my old age. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Let's get into this main topic, building a special teams culture. Let's rock.
Yeah.
As Coach Stout alluded to, main topic for tonight's show is building culture on special teams. We're going to get into some cut-ups, some film breakdowns that Coach Crabtree is going to get into. But as always, the main topic of today's show is powered by First Down Playbook. First Down Playbook is the nation's leading playbook and play design software. With over 35,000 professionally drawn and editable team plays with notes and full playbooks to start from, you'll be on your way to getting an edge over the competition. First Down Playbook can be your entire team management system and your entire community management system with practice schedules, scripts, custom quarterback wristbands, and more. If you use the code HEADSETS24 or if you just mention our show, you'll receive $100 off, an option that's already the most affordable, truthfully, in the game today. If you're looking for that link, it's in our show notes. If you listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you'll find it there. If you watch on YouTube or listen on YouTube, you'll find it in the description there too. So go get the link. Get this now before the season starts. I promise you won't regret it.
That's great, Donovan. Let's get into it, Coach.
Yeah, you're a pretty good reader. That Miami education's good.
Yeah,
it's a marketing degree right
at Miami, man. Oxford, man.
Yeah.
Coach, man, let's pull it up. I saw you had. I got excited just seeing your title slide, man. Let's see what you got for us.
Sure.
Yeah, let's pull it up. Let's start talking about special teams. No pressure. Last special teams episode we did pretty well. It's in that top 5. Hopefully we get you
is that my guy
too.
PC?
He is, man. Yeah, they loved it.
That's a little good competition. He's at USF, University of South Florida, Parker Carmichael.
We're really doing it big with special teams, man. Let's do it.
Same guys.
I love it. Is this coming through here?
Yep, we got you.
All right, awesome. Perfect. All right, so bear with me a little bit because I got it on this file as far as it being one long video. So I'm skipping through the parts as we go. But the biggest thing with special teams, as you look at it, I just want to first start by saying it's a unit that can be really overlooked. And I want to say a blanket statement about high school is that it's something that maybe isn't worked on a lot in high school. Either it's an afterthought, hey, there's not enough practice time. We just got to go and kick the ball. We're not going to really care who's out there. whatever it may be. There's a lot of opportunities to overlook special teams in those different phases in high school, in my opinion. So as you go through and as I'm talking, I want to relate this to high school and then talk about why it's important from our end on a college level. But just from the start here, our philosophy, what it is that we put into special teams, what we find important, and how we get people to buy in and really take ownership in what we do. So that first bullet up there, change the game in a positive way. It's an opportunity to go and win when we go out there and play special teams. Our guys on our team know that. We have results that have shown that. And we have had opportunities that have passed us by because we didn't seize it when it happened in the moment. So we've had on every end of the spectrum where we've seen that come through. But we want to come and change the game in a positive way when we step out there on the field. And that kind of goes in there to the second point. And what we say at Tennessee is one shot, one kill. This Coach Eckler brought this to the table 4 years ago when he got there. But it's a mentality. It's what we believe in. It's a mentality. The biggest thing is that on offense and defense, you go out there and you've got 3 downs maybe, and okay, a 3 and out, and you're off the field. Or maybe you get a series where it's 8 or 10 plays, whatever it may be. Bottom line is you get multiple plays. You get multiple opportunities. So with special teams and our mantra at Tennessee, it's been one shot, one kill. And we step out there, we got one chance to go and execute at a high level and do the things that we talk about every week. So let's not let it pass us by. That's our mentality. And then overall for your program, which this is where I find this to be crucial for high school teams, is that it's an opportunity to develop your technique. And it's not technique on, hey, we're going to show you this covering kick technique, or, hey, this is how to hold somebody up on punt return. This is football technique, and this is the development as a player. This is why we invest a ton in it. And it's partly why our players probably buy in the way they do, is because we start to see a transition from guys that are really good on special teams that end up being really good offensive or defensive players. And it's really there's a reason, just because we drill those same kind of techniques in what we do. So it transfers over. And then going into that fourth one, player development. And it's not necessarily just the skill that I'm talking about. I want to talk a little bit about the natural career progression that a lot of kids probably should go through. Some of them hit it normally. Some of the guys don't understand why they're in certain roles as a freshman, what have you. But for us, and how it's sometimes worked for us, is that we get really talented players that come through. The reality sinks in when you come to a college program and you were all state, all world, whatever. So are your other teammates. So competition is natural when you get to college, and you may not be the guy right when you walk through the door. The guys that are and that become the guy right away, maybe they're just a whole heck of a lot more developed and ready to go. But with who we got to play and in the games that we got to get through each single year, you might not come in and be ready-made to be the offensive wide receiver or the nickel or whoever it may be. So for us, we like to develop guys on special teams in very specific roles, give them an opportunity to grow in game settings, and then it transitions right into them being a really high-level offensive or defensive player. And then the last bullet point here, just having an all-in mentality. So I have these 3 pictures on the bottom. We've got a field goal kicker and our holder who's a specialist. We've got a defensive tackle, or defensive tackle who's a field goal wing. And then on the bottom right picture there, we've got a DB, a receiver, a linebacker, a safety, what have you. But they're all in the same play right after we scored on punt return. That it takes everybody. It doesn't matter what position you are. We're not just talking to the linebackers when we're talking about certain skills. We're not just talking to the receivers. No, we got a defensive lineman that's playing for us. So it takes everybody. And we start to see a huge benefit when people start to have that mentality and they begin to buy in, which makes it really exciting.
Hey, I love that, because one of our rules that we have at Northland is if you don't start on special teams, you can't start on offense or defense.
Yeah.
So that's our rule there, so that the kids, we make sure that they're on a special teams and we're taking it serious and we have our best guys out there.
For sure. It's a great rule to have. It's a great way to build it into your culture already. As we go through these next slides, like I'm going to hit on that too, and what it takes, in my opinion, in our opinion, to be really good special teams players. I think it starts with this too, to your point, Coach, like what's non-negotiable. Okay. For you at Northland, it's, if you're going to start for us on O or D, you're going to play on special teams. That's great. That's a non-negotiable for your program. And we like to be the same way too. But a question that I think everyone should ask themselves, or a statement really, is to be my best on game day, I must be better than my opponent in these things. Okay. And the list is as follows: effort, fast, physical, smart, clean, and technique. All right. So effort's a given. If you don't have good effort, you shouldn't be playing football on any level at any position. That's something that's a choice. You should always have great effort. That's a given. Fast, obviously with speed, but also making fast decisions and not being hesitant in what you do. So that relates to everything. If I'm a receiver and I got a certain assignment and I start chopping my feet too early, whatever, I run the wrong route because I was thinking, timing's all off, bad play. On defense, if I'm sitting there and I'm trying to look for the ball and I'm not paying attention to what my keys are, or making a full speed decision and really pulling the trigger and going, I'm wrong. So for us on special teams, it's no different. We want to make fast decisions and faster than our opponent on game day. We want to be physical. Okay, that's a choice too. Not everybody comes out of the womb ready to hit and excited about being physical, but it is something that you have to train. You got to train guys to use their hands. You got to train guys to play with their eyes, but also with their face and their face mask. And I'm not saying dip your head and spear somebody. I'm saying play with your face. Okay, that's a key, because if your eyes aren't up and you want to pull your head out of contact, you're not going to be very good. Okay. And then playing smart and knowing your assignment, where to be and how to do it. And with that comes playing clean, no penalties. And then the technique aspect, we'll get into that as we keep going. But those are those non-negotiables for us. What makes a really good special teams player are people that do that on a very consistent basis. Okay. Motivation. All right. What gets guys excited about special teams and how do we do it? All right. So first off, the value that you provide to your team, if you're a really good special teams player, it can be exponential. As far as you're a guy that does 4 or 5 different jobs, you also can be the backup safety when we travel. That right there is value that you probably wouldn't even think of until it really comes up in a game where you need that guy. Okay. So that to us, we put a lot of value on doing as many jobs as you can in the building. Okay. Whether that's, hey, I'm an R3 on kickoff, I'm a frontline guy on KOR. Oh, I'm also a guard on the punt team. We have guys that take pride in doing that and being a core 4 guy, as we say, a guy that can play on all 4 units, because it provides value, and those guys are valued in our program. The travel squad. So this is something that I don't think a lot of people really know about or think about, but everyone knows the NFL, you get 53 on a roster, okay, and then even less to play with on game day. In college, at least, it's something like that, but it is a few more. In the SEC, we can only dress 74 on away games. We can only bring 74 out of our 125 guys. So with that being said, there are 50 plus guys that get left at home. So if you're trying to make the bus, as we say, and what it takes to do that, it's doing as many jobs as you can, because everybody gets excited about running through the tunnel. Everybody gets excited about being in the game, but the reality sinks in, and you're the 4th or 5th linebacker on our team. You better be playing special teams in a high capacity, because your window of opportunity to go make the bus starts to get a lot smaller if you're not. Okay. And then the third point here, talking about special team skills, we already hit on it a little bit, but just a general statement, and this is going to relate to high school probably in a big way. So much of practice is spent on developing a skill in something. That's a given. So if I'm a receiver on a high school team, I'm probably working not only running routes, of course, but I'm probably working perimeter blocking in some aspect. Okay. We also see perimeter blocking come through in front line of kickoff return. And as far as guys being able to move their feet, strike somebody, and stay connected, those are the basic principles of that. Okay. So we see both of those kind of translate between a receiver perimeter blocking and a kickoff return frontline guy blocking on KOR. So with that being said, we like to think, and our guys start to believe it when they see it, is that us working a KOR drill in practice for our starting receiver who does the same drills, it's stealing reps for the offensive side of the ball. Okay. And it's a way for him to say, hey, I'm going to learn how to do these skills. I'm going to be ready when my number is called, but I'm also stealing reps as an offensive player here as well. Okay. Block destruction. DBs and linebackers work it all the time. It's a very defensive heavy skill, as we know. Okay. But covering kicks and covering punts and getting off somebody at the line of scrimmage is block destruction. So when we do our drills on special teams, we always have an aspect of block destruction in what we do. Okay. Whether that's us tearing somebody off and getting vertical and trying to get into coverage, or it's us on kickoff cover, trying to run into somebody and in the attack zone, for example, and trying to go make the play when it's in close combat. That's defense. So our players that work those drills know that they're working those skills for the other side of the ball as well.
I think
Go ahead, Coach.
I was gonna say, even think to like, there's two receivers in my mind right now from Ohio State, like Chris Olave. Everybody remembers those highlights from that Michigan game with him on special teams, and then Terry McLaurin. And I'm biased because he played for the Redskins, but like they started as like key special teams members for the Buckeyes, and then worked their way up to be two of the best receivers in the NFL.
Yeah, 100%.
That
Like Zeke Elliott covered kicks freshman year. That's all that stuff. So like you're saying, you know about that. The public will know about that because they say, "Oh, look back at whoever doing this," right? Like once they're already super successful. But those type of examples are endless in college football. You guys all the time. Hell, you look at the NFL and you start seeing big name after big name doing those types of dirty jobs, quote unquote, dirty jobs, being on special teams. It's how they make their living. There's not an option when you get to that level. So to train it at a young age, starting in high school, working to college, and then getting into that level of the NFL, which everybody aspires to do. Again, it's banked reps, it's stealing reps, whatever you want to call it, but it's a philosophy and it's a buy-in and a mentality that these special teams drills, those special teams reps, whether in practice or in games, are going to make me a better player. And there's no doubt about it. And then the orange line here, okay, we recruit position players. We don't recruit anybody. We don't say, hey, you're going to be a really great L2 on kickoff. We don't say, hey, you're going to be an awesome – we may say you're going to be an awesome returner, but we don't say you're going to be an awesome guard on punt team. That's not exciting. No one likes to hear that. And if we said that, it probably wouldn't go very well, okay, in today's day and age. But once they get there, okay, and this is at every place. This isn't just at Tennessee. You start to create that buy-in and really see it come through, specifically at our place. When we start showing them how these types of skills translate, we'll pull up film and we'll pull up guys doing it at the highest level and say, hey, doesn't that look a lot like what we're doing right now? And they'll all nod their head. Yeah, it does. No kidding. And then we'll show a guy that played for us in the last 2 or 3 years. There he is in the NFL game doing the exact drill. We'll pull up the drill from when he was there, doing the exact drill that he's doing in the NFL. Okay, so they start to see how this stuff really relates. So for us, that gets them excited because the longer you play in the NFL, as we know, that contract money is exciting to them. It's exciting to us. It's part of the game. Okay, and the other thing too, okay, Donovan, to your point, guys that have played on special teams that end up at the highest level. Okay, on this picture, you're not going to see, maybe you will, you're probably not going to see all the huge names, but what you will see is a little bit of a breakdown when you look at this table up here in the top left. How many guys in the Super Bowl, okay, a few years back were 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, whatever it was, okay? That's, to us, is a huge tell for guys that come into college and they say, oh, I was a 5-star, I don't need to do this, or a 4-star, I don't need to do this. Look at the picture. There's plenty of them out there doing these types of jobs. So it's important. And then also, not to mention the 8 no stars or whatever that means, 1 star, okay, the 8 of those guys on the field out of the 22 of them that are playing in the Super Bowl doing a specific special teams job. That to us, you see this picture, you should be pretty excited. Okay, there's another one coming up here that'll show the same type of thing. Oh, yeah, special teams motivation. Okay, so this is cool in itself. Okay, talking about building a culture and kind of getting guys excited about it. This is real. This info is real. So looking at the pro career, this is somebody that got signed as an undrafted free agent. Okay, they played on, as you can see on the right, special teams highlighted all the way down the line. This is a weekly recap of their career that year. Special teams all the way down. Okay, the stats, this player played 227 snaps all on special teams that year. You break it down by the rookie minimum, what he made per week. Okay, yep, he's probably getting taxed pretty heavy. But in the end, every time he stepped on the field, he made $3,300 just for stepping on the field because he was one of those guys that was a core 4 guy, did his job at a high level, wasn't the starting linebacker or safety, but he got out there and he got down to work. And this is why he made the team. And then lo and behold, a whole year passes by and he made a career out of being a special teams player. So we show this type of stuff every time we get an opportunity. We tie it into the NFL all the time. For high school guys, when they see they may not see stuff like this and think about it in that way, but just understand that as they get to these levels, the more value you provide for your team, the more opportunities you get to play, the more reward it has for you at the end. So those are things that we like to look at.
Would that be your overall message, you think, to high school players of if you had to give them a reason of why special teams is important or why they should be excited about it? Is that your overall reason you think of it helps you become a better player and overall benefits the team? To get high school kids excited about special teams?
100%. I think here's one thing too. This is twofold to answer your question. Absolutely, this would be one of the main messages for high schoolers saying, hey, you want to be a receiver. You should go pursue that goal. You want to be the starting corner. You should go pursue that goal. And you will achieve that. But to know that there's ways to do it outside of if you're not the number one guy, okay, there's ways to stick around for a long time. And it's by being a good football player. It doesn't mean you got to be necessarily the greatest receiver of all time. There's guys that have played for 10, 12, 15 years by just covering kicks and blocking punts. There's guys that have done that. So to highlight that for a high school kid, it may be a big example. But I would also say the second part that I was going to say there, Donovan, was that high school kids that have this aspiration of getting to wherever they want to go, whatever school they pick. Okay, there's a place for everybody. But like I said before, the reality sits in when you go to that place and you're not the greatest player that is in the locker room, which you probably were in high school. But now you start looking around and saying, wow, there's a lot of great players here. I don't know how I'm going to stack up. That's natural. But so that they can really buy into these types of skills, to learn them in high school is going to set you so far ahead for when you get to a college program, because you're going to show up and be able to do some drills naturally. And the coaches are going to say, man, this guy, he's making the bus just because he can do A, B, and C, whatever it may be. So that to me is a big piece for a high school kid. It's just knowing the value that you provide.
Hey man, three G's a snap. You got me ready to do whatever you need, man. I'm excited right now. I'm ready. These old knees and back, and I can give you a couple snaps at that cost.
A couple snaps wouldn't be too bad at that price.
Man, Kyle, you are not. What special teams?
He's 40 years something where I'm not running down the field, but I might. Heck, in the NFL, you already get to cross your legs and all that type of stuff up front. I could hold in there for a couple, I think, as a wing or something on a little field goal for 3 Gs.
No, you couldn't.
Come on, like
maybe not a core 4 guy, but maybe 2. We can get 2.
Yeah, I just a core 4 guy. I ain't running down the field, but hey, $3,000 a snap, man. I'm gonna be biting knees and everything I need to do,
bro. Donnie, tell these guys how skinny is this? This dude's legs are so skinny. There's no way he's getting bucked.
Coach Stout, football has changed a lot in the 30 years since you've played. Guys are a lot bigger, stronger, faster. So
yeah,
it's a different game.
Reality sinks in, Coach. That happens for everybody.
3,000 G's a snap. I'm ready to fight.
You're ready to try it out. It don't matter what it is.
Hey, I'm gonna be busier than a one-legged man in an ass whooping contest. You know what I mean?
What?
I've heard that.
An ass kicking contest.
He's proven our point.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle.
Hey, the other thing we show too, to piggyback all that stuff's great. None of it matters unless you go out there and actually do it, right? And have results. This isn't us pounding our chest to our own players saying, oh, look at what we do, right? But the proof is in what you produce on the field. So just in the last 3 seasons, okay, we've punted 145 times. We've only given up 23 return yards by our opponents. And for us, that's discipline and coverage. That's all the little things we talk about, getting off blocks, block destruction, protecting, right? Having grade in our coverage lanes, all those types of things. And then you look on the punt return side, we've had 896 return yards, almost 1,000, okay, 2 touchdown returns. That's in 3 years. So for our guys to see that type of result come through and how it's changed games and given us opportunities to win, that's exciting to them. They want to go out and be those guys on these pictures that we're looking at because they all know that they have the ability to do it. So it's like a never-ending cycle. You drill it, you preach it all the time. They go out there, they practice it. Then it pops up in the game. Now it's addicting. Now they want to go out and chase that every single time. Somebody that's blocked a punt in our building knows that feeling. They want that feeling again. They want to go chase that, and they want to be the guy to block the punt because they know how exciting that is. Okay, and then our success just in general on special teams on the right, that was from this past year, but having really good key guys like returners, D. Williams, he's with the Seahawks now. Jackson Ross is our punter. Okay, guys like that, they change games at the college level. So doing all the things around them, the other 10 or 9 guys that are working, they allow them to shine in those moments. But as it all comes together, man, this is what it's all about, is being able to produce. And that's what Coach Heupel, our head coach, and Coach Eckler, that's what they've built from the start when they got here. They put the emphasis on special teams, and then they started working and they started creating this buy-in from year one on. So it's just continued to build, and this is the results that we've seen in just 3-4 years. So the goal is to keep it going and to never stop. Okay, so getting into some clips. Let me know if this video is real choppy. I'm going to let it play for a little bit.
No, it's good.
It's all good. Okay,
Yeah.
so one thing that we do to make things exciting is we like to show some highlights too. And this is just going to be a highlight. And we're watching the guy on the far right. Okay, this was at LSU in 2022. Okay, we never know when the moment's going to happen on special teams that's going to change the game. This was the first play of the game. So 35, okay, he's one of our safeties, one of our better players. He's a safety. He's doing his job. Our kick goes to the right. Okay, he's going to be the guy that plays back, okay, and tries to clean anything up as it comes his way. But we just so happen to get a really heavy wind at LSU that hits off the returner's chest, and boom, a fumble recovery. Okay, stuff like that, that's exciting as hell. And it doesn't matter. Is it all technique? Nope. Is it right place, right time? A lot of that for sure. But those type of plays, that type of stuff is really exciting for us. And our guys feed off of that all the time. Okay, right here, this is from this past year against Vanderbilt. We got a little block punt action. Okay, so number 40, okay, if you guys can see him on the left side. All this stuff, all week in practice, okay, we're telling him this is how you're going to do it, right? This is what you need to look for. This is how you're going to do it. He goes out there in the moment, one shot, one kill. He gets his opportunity, hits him right off the face, actually, but he was in the right spot. And now we get, instead of a 40-yard punt pinning us deep, we get a block punt, and it only goes about 20 yards downfield. Okay, right here on this one, this was an awesome time right here. Okay, one of the most electric returners in all of college football. Okay, everybody talks about number 3. He actually drops this one, which isn't ideal, but he's quick enough and he's got quick decision-making as well to make it okay. So I'll let this play out, okay? But he makes a full-ass speed decision, and he gets vertical, okay? But this doesn't happen with all the other guys. You see a guy come in right there and get the punter. This doesn't happen without guys that buy in and finish their job and have high effort and do everything that we coach them to do. Okay, you see this guy right here, number 36, never gives up on the play, goes and cleans the punter up. That's the deciding factor between a touchdown and just a really good return.
I love it. I love the energy after that, too.
Yeah, no doubt. It was shaking after that one. Okay, so this one I'll punt, all right? Just a routine punt play, so we think. Okay, but how this all kind of feeds into the next play. We down it at the 1. That's actually the returner, number 3, D. Williams. He downs it right at the 1-yard line. Okay, then our defense comes out and gets a 3 and out. Okay, we put their offense in a tough spot. Our defense comes out, they execute. Now we're on punt return. We have an opportunity to change the game. Okay, so we run a return here at the end of the game, and our returner, number 3, does what he's good at. But everybody else up front, okay, we're trying to get bodies on bodies, but we let number 3 work. That's what he's good at. So he makes a couple guys miss, gets into the end zone. We win by 7 points. Okay, that right there is game-changing plays. And as we show that type of stuff to our guys, they want to be a part of that. They want to be one of those 11 guys out there.
I love that. That's how we won our rivalry game this year, Coach. Somebody dropped the punt, though, muffed the punt, and we got it back and went and scored with 14 seconds left.
Man, yeah, that's exciting. I mean,
our long snapper, baby, flying downfield, getting right up in his grill.
Let's go. That's what it takes.
One shot, one kill.
You feel me?
I love it.
That's beautiful.
That's what it's all about. Guys, ready for that. So, but hey, this right here, this is going to be kickoff. So I'll breeze through this and get to the clips, but we talk about different units, right? And we have our progression on how we drill this type of stuff, whether that's by practice, team, into the game, et cetera, but we have our progression here. So this is a real base level, but for high schoolers, and as I go through this type of stuff in these clips, we're thinking about how this relates to football in general, not just covering kicks. So full speed decisions and attacking, that sounds like defense, right? So as we go through and we see some of the stuff that is a part of this, okay, we just talked about the last slide, but this in kickoff, there's a couple different zones. There's the attack zone, which is a lot of people like to say, hey, it's 15 yards from the ball. Okay, it's about that, right? It's when we get to a point where we don't have time to run around a block. We got to face the issue. The speed zone, that's a little bit further back. It's as soon as the ball's kicked, And now I'm running down the field and I'm trying to make somebody miss. And then our get off is the first part of that with what they do, trying to take free money. You got 5 yards to take off and have a great start. Okay, right here, the attack zone. This is the visual of it. About 10 yards from the returner. Can't really tell you exactly how it's going to be. The kick distance is going to determine that. So if it's on the goal line, maybe it's on the 10. If it's a short kick, it's on the 10. Okay, maybe it's on the 20. We have to be aware and we have to see the ball and where it's going. Okay, the speed zone coming up here next. All right, so this is going to be, this is attack zone clips. All right, forgot I had these clips in here. So the way we drill it is going to be very broken down to basically from the ending phase, and we're going to work backwards. So this is like this guy in orange is addressing the block. Okay, this is block destruction. So we like to start in a pre-fit position just like that. Okay, his feet are in the ground. He should look like he's power cleaning. Okay, we don't power clean on our tippy toes in the weight room. So we want to have our feet in the ground, all of our cleats in the ground, playing on our insteps. But this is as soon as I make contact with the blocker on kickoff return. So I'm facing the issue. I'm playing with my face. My hands are tight. And I want to create this knockback as I come out of my hips and really lock out and get extension, just like he's doing. Okay, so the locked out position that he's in, that's our position of power. That's how we create separation and then do the second step of this here, which he's looking both ways here, left and right. Okay, he's looking for the ball. He's never going to run past the level of the ball. Okay, and he's always going to be aware of where that thing's going. So as soon as the returner, which is the guy in the stripes running, as soon as that ball declares itself, that's when he's going to tear off there and get rid of that guy that's trying to block him and go make the play here.
I think that's the hardest part for high school kids is that attack zone. They always want to slip a block or avoid a block to think 100%. They'll go make the play, and just trying to get guys to understand, like what you said. We called it speed, avoid, and attack. That's kind of we've always done it. Avoid them butt side, getting back into your lane, attack zone. But just getting guys to understand about when you're in that zone, how you, like what you said. I love how you talked about you play with your face. You got to take it on. There's no more avoiding or you're trying to slip and make a play and that type of stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Guys like to throw the shoulder, right, and do that type of stuff because they think they're being physical when they do that. Okay, but it's not natural to play with your face. It's not natural to use your hands, especially when you're running full speed. So this type of stuff, and also not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but kickoff's probably changing. The NFL already changed it. Okay, but just so happens as how far apart these guys are is probably about how far apart the NFL guys are going to be this year when they're running down on kickoff. It just is going to look a little different now. So block destruction and being aware and being able to get off of blocks at the very end, at the point of attack, all that stuff, they're going to put a premium on those skills. So now instead of starting pre-fit, we start backed up. And now we're just running into it. So he's going to run and we tell him, don't be soft on contact. We got a bag for a reason. Okay. This is something that we do in pre-practice just to get guys going. Okay. But right here, he should be striking. Okay. Face, hands, and hips. They should all be working together just like he's power cleaning a bar. And then as he gets his lockout and creates a separation, now it's the same drill. Okay. Sometimes we put one of these out here, get guys really hitting it. Okay. Because this thing's heavy. This sled is not light. So we let guys cut loose. They should be striking this thing square though. Just like they're striking that pad. This is the idea. Okay. As it comes into the game, because it's not going to look the exact same as we all know, but we like to think that the drills that we have are very similar to what you will see. So looking at the L3 here, the number 23. Okay. This right here, I'm going to go back just for a second.
That's great.
He's in the speed zone right now as he takes off. He's on sides on the takeoff. This is free money. I should be running as fast as I can. We call it a flying 40. So from the moment he takes off to when he gets to the opposite 25, okay, that should be as fast as he can go. Okay. And we time that type of stuff. So here he is running in the speed zone. All of a sudden, there's the ball. There's his block. Probably doesn't have time to run around it. If he does, he's going to miss the ball. So he makes a full speed decision, just like we talk about. He engages with that block. Okay. He plays with his face, his hands, his hips. Now he's two gap and he's looking left and right. Just happens a little bit quick. Okay. But this is great awareness out of him getting off of this block and making the play inside the 25. That's an awesome play. If someone were to bury their head in there and not be aware, that's where good stuff happens for them and bad stuff happens for us. So it's just an awareness. Okay. But looking right here on the right side as the guy's running. Okay. Right there. He takes that block on thick. Okay. That's not an easy thing to do, especially for high school guys. But 42 has a great base. Okay. He's a stone wall, but what you can do is you can fight back, right? Have a great base, play with your face, hands, and hips, and understand where that return's trying to go and go find the ball, play defense. So here he is again, one last time, striking, face, hands, and hips. Now he's going to tear off right there and make the play. So that kind of stuff, okay, that's a huge difference maker. And the reason we're showing NFL clips is because we'll merge these and we'll say, hey, look at what you just did. Look at what they're doing at the highest level. It's very familiar. Okay, so 48 running right down the middle. Okay, here he goes right there. Just a great awareness. He's walking that guy back. That's a fantastic job by that dude. Okay, but all these types of techniques right here come through every single rep. 48 again, one last time. Boom. Face, hands, and hips, walking him back. Returner's right in his lap by the time he gets there. That's physical. That's playing with great leverage. That's playing with great awareness. Okay, now, wait a second. This isn't kickoff. Okay, yep, that's okay. It happens on defense. The guy out here on the perimeter. Okay, a little perimeter screen. Face, hands, and hips. He does have to keep his leverage, but that's the same finishing phase as it is on kickoff cover. It's the same type of stuff. So our guys know this. They see this. And then it's pretty easy to do the drill the right way. That's the way we like to do it. So he made a great play, but he's also the same guy that's doing it well on special teams every day we do it. Okay, 44 right here. He's taking on an insert block at linebacker. Okay, the tight end comes through. He's got a choice. Is he going to duck his shoulder? Is he going to try to slip the block as we were just talking about? Or does he face the issue, play with his face, hands, and hips, and go be a part of that play and do what he should? Okay, so all that stuff comes through on defense in particular. We like to show that type of stuff. Okay, the speed zone. Okay, this is key right here. This is from a practice clip. But right now, I don't know. Can you guys see my mouse?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the biggest thing in kickoff cover, and it's probably not talked about a lot, but it is the rule. You don't want to be foot on the line and off sides as you take off. So the biggest key is time it up with the kicker. Once he crosses, okay, your peripheral vision, whichever way you're doing it, you could be facing the kicker. You can be lined up straight downfield like we are, but we time it up. So we have a lot of banked reps at timing this stuff up and being on sides. But when I pause it as the ball's kicked, that's the standard for us. We want to be right at that line, taking up as much of that free space as we can. That's the beginning phase of this. If you have a bad takeoff, you're probably not having a great speed zone rep as you're trying to go to avoid a block. So that's just a side view as we rep that type of stuff. That was just a takeoff rep. So we'll actually work that as we do it. Okay, but you can't talk about speed zone if you don't talk about this. This is also a very easy concept that I think all high schoolers should know. Everybody should talk about all the time. We talk about it all the time. It's just your leverage. Wherever you align is where you should keep your leverage. So if I'm a right side player, I should keep it on my left pad or my inside pad. Okay, vice versa. If I'm a left side player, I should keep it on my right pad or my inside pad. So this is just the visual. And will it change based on scheme? Yep, it will. But that returner right there, okay, and our guys on the left and the right, they should be closing in on him and really keeping him contained and having great leverage. That's the principles of coverage, but it doesn't necessarily match up with all the drills that we're talking about if you don't show that picture. Okay,
I
so
love
right
that.
here,
I started out very early on coaching on special teams, and it's one of the biggest points. And one of the drills I used to love is just having your kickoff team run down with nobody blocking and just making sure guys are staying in the lanes and staying with that leverage, and all guys had to finish around the ball with that leverage. I think it's a really underrated thing where you could steal some easy reps without having guys having to have a lot of collisions, just fitting where they need to.
It also works with your defense too. That's another thing. Like you have to be able to leverage guys on defense. Like we do the same drill on defense, and it really relates to special teams. But coach, what I was going to ask you is, how much film do you guys watch with your players on special teams, like weekly?
Tons. Coach Heupel gives us a lot of time, we're fortunate. We watch all sorts of stuff. We watch our practice drills. We watch how it progresses into team setting, and we watch game clips and NFL clips like I've been showing. We like to, it's just like everybody else. We like to teach it first in kind of the classroom setting, in that meeting setting. If we get an opportunity to walk it through, we will. But then when we get out there on the field, we prioritize our time for sure. We're efficient, but we also like to have really quality reps. We're not out there running 50 covers here in speed zone and doing all that. We're maybe getting 2, but we drill it so much in their minds and film that by the time they get out there, they know the techniques because it's simple. They know what it should look like because they've seen it. And now they just got to go and do it. And they got to get that feeling of what was a good rep, what's a not so good rep. So we're fortunate to have that time, but that's how we do it on every phase that we do. So as I look through this next one here, it skips over right here. Okay, this right here is an awesome picture for concept of football and leverage, as we call it. All right, so relationships of where's the ball, where's the man that's trying to block me, and where am I? Okay, so looking at the left picture, I can be covering a kick. I can be a receiver running a route. I can be a DB avoiding a block on a perimeter screen and going to the ball. This picture is all it is illustrating the relationship of ball me man. If the ball is to my left, okay, and to take assignment necessarily, take that out of it for this example, but if the ball's on my left and there's the blocker in the middle, the quickest route to this ball is to go underneath or to the left in this case and go avoid them and go make the play on the ball. Okay, on the right, the ball's to my right. There's the blocker. The quickest route is to beat my guy with speed and go get the ball. Okay, this is a concept that we drill into the guys' heads all the time, early and often. Okay, so it's all about relationships. So as I show these clips about coverage, keeping that whole concept in mind, this should make a ton of sense. So right here, we set it up. There's the blocker. There's the ball. I should be beating this guy with speed, just conceptually. So I want to set his butt up. I don't want to just run in to get blocked. I want to have great awareness. And as I'm running down the field, you see his eyes looking right at the guy that's trying to block him. Okay, so that's awesome. There he is. Boom, makes the play. The biggest key right here is that he's going to step on his toes, just like a receiver trying to step on the toes of a DB. Okay, he should be doing the same exact thing right there, stepping on toes, taking the cushion away, and then faking him out with a head and shoulder fake right there. Okay, so that would be something that we'd rep, but here it is in a game. Okay, this is a teach tape rep, as we call it. So the L4, the guy running right here. Where's the ball? Where's the guy that's trying to block him? Pretty easy to tell that guy's got his eyes right on him. And then there's the ball to my left. So I'm not going to just run underneath just because I think the return's going that way. I want to use my technique and beat him right here and avoid him. I shouldn't be touched just like he's doing. That's a great rep. So I want to set him up. Okay, I want to look him right in his eyes, and I want to make my cut and then go and track that near hip. That's his play. So that's an awesome job. That's a great example of understanding my leverage and going and pulling the trigger and going. Guy on the right here, okay, the second guy from the outside. He's going to do the same thing. Where's the ball? Where's the guy trying to block him? He knows that this kick was going that way. Okay, here he is, identifying who's trying to block him, setting him up, putting his foot in the ground, being decisive, and then going right to the ball. Okay, one last one here. This is the same type of picture that I showed the first one. Okay, but what I like about it is that he takes his shot. Okay, so as he is going down the field right here, he identifies who's trying to block him. Okay, he's stepping on toes right there. Okay, I love that. Stepping on toes. And as he sticks his foot in the ground, gives him a head and shoulder fake. Now he's tracking the near hip. Take your shot. Okay, that play probably doesn't happen without him taking a shot. I would love to see him get the tackle, but that's the skill. That's the skill. Now, the NFL, okay, it's funny because this is all going away, but it's a lot of great teach tapes on how to play defense on these clips. So 41 right here. Okay, he's a madman for the Patriots. Watch him run down. Okay, here he goes. Speed zone. Identify who's trying to block me. Boom. Stepping on toes, tracking the near hip. Take your shot. That's an awesome play. Okay, and have some juice about it too. So that's great. Okay, now we're talking about being the other way here. Not beating them with speed, but going, Coach, you mentioned going butt side, right? Or back door, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now instead of beating him with speed, now I'm going to cut and use his momentum against him and go the other way. Okay, so where's the ball and where's the block? All that type of stuff is going to still come into play. So watching this number 4, or the 4 on the left here, watching him run down. Okay, we kick the ball. He's identifying who's trying to block him, who's got their eyes on me. So right now, okay, he's not probably 100% sure. I think it's that guy that's going to block him, but he does understand where this returner is going to go. Okay, so I can see maybe some confusion popping up and saying, wait a second, the returner's over there. There's my blocker. Shouldn't I be beating him with speed? In this moment, in this case right here, he just does a great job of identifying what he's seeing, because we also spent a week game planning these guys and we knew what they were going to bring to the table. So he went back door in this case, okay, and had awareness of the scheme he was seeing. But that right there is just a great job of not going, as we say, going 1-for-1. If he were to just engage with that blocker, shut it down, not go take a shot, he might as well not be on the field, is how we think about it. So not going 1-for-1, going to make the play. Okay, and this last one right here, this 4 running down the field. Okay, so he's to the field. So a lot of the times we want him to keep his leverage on his inside pad, just like we showed that picture. Okay, but as you look at it, all the time and space that he has, how far that returner is away from him, and how much space that he has to go catch up with his speed. Okay, he ends up going underneath here. But that's only because the kickoff return guy gave him that opportunity to do it. He's got his hips turned right here. He knows that he's going to get that guy's trying to block him. So he's going to go and use his momentum against him, make a cut, go right across his face, backdoor, and then still get vertical to stack him, but still keeping it on his left pad. That's an awesome rep by that guy, just being aware. Okay. And then the last one here in the NFL, which is this is a great visual example. Okay. Because you can put yourself in this guy's shoes on what you would do when you're covering down. Okay. Probably Coach Stout, probably not running as fast as him, but we can dream about it. Okay. He's going butt side right there, taking a shot. That's an awesome job. Okay. And I just love the overall awareness that this guy has of where's my blocker, where's the ball, how am I going to go make the play in the most efficient way. So one last time, here he goes. Running down. Boom. Stick his foot in the ground, cut right across his face. Great job, man. That's fantastic. That's how guys play for so long, because they can do stuff like that. And they just have a simple awareness of the concept. Okay, same as right here, perimeter screen. You see this a lot on perimeter game, no matter what it may be. But the defender right here, he knows the ball's going inside. So this is no different than if he ran 30 yards to get there. Now here he is, the nickel. He's going underneath this block. He knows he's going to win. Go make the play on the ball. That's the key. That's an understanding of just how to be a little bit slippery, how to beat a block, but also not give up your responsibility of keeping your leverage. Okay, that's an awesome job by him.
And as an offensive guy, that's demoralizing, man. The moment you try to build a game plan on RPOs and do things and it gets slipped like that once or twice,
no doubt,
you're taking the pen to the game plan, man, saying we can't do that. That guy can't do this. Just being able to do that can change the game so much.
Yeah, you can be a game record just by having really a simple skill and an understanding. Now you can't get undisciplined in this, because if you go underneath and you lose your leverage, now that the offense has got something, right? But no different than on kickoff. We're not going to fault you for going the way that you thought was the best and the quickest, as long as you make a full speed decision. Goes back to our first slide we were looking at. So here he goes. Boom. Just saw it. Now looking at it over here. Okay. So this actually is going on. Hold on. I think I messed that up. Nope. All good. So this right here is a play before that touchdown that I showed. This is our 3rd and 10 on the 1. So 13 had a good knack for this. He's setting this tight end up to go underneath and go and make the play. It's no different than going backdoor on kickoff. There he goes, backdoor. It's just the concept. It's the principle of it. That allows us to do what we did on punt return. Okay, DN, it happens everywhere. Okay, 27 ran down for us. Okay, this dude's going to be a beast this year, but he ran down for us his true freshman year on kickoff. Now he's on the line with his hand in the dirt most of the time. But this right here is just like he's beating somebody with speed on kickoff cover. Okay, that pulling guard right there. He identifies who's trying to block him. He sets him up, sticks his foot in the ground, beats him with speed, and goes and takes a shot. Here he is on kickoff. Oh, don't have him on kickoff. He did it on kickoff when we played Pitt in 2022, did the same exact thing, just happened to be 40 yards downfield. Okay, this one right here is our favorite one of all time. This is our favorite technique. It's you got to pick your battles on when you're going to do it. But when you see a man in transition, and a man in transition is a guy that does not have a base. He's crossed over. He's flat-footed. He's not playing with a great football position. But I want you guys to watch, okay, the third guy from the outside right here coming down. This is his first play of college football, okay, in the orange and white. Here he comes, number 7. Boom. Knocks the guy out. Okay, but he does that all while still getting involved with the play. He's not just doing it to eliminate himself. He's doing it because he knows he can run right through that guy's soul. And that's why we're doing it. Because he doesn't have a base. He's not ready to go. He goes and makes the play all while running the guy over. That's like a A+++. That's awesome stuff. Oh, here is the clip I was talking about, the D lineman. Okay, 27, here he goes. Running right down. Identify who's trying to block me. Where's the ball? Where's my blocker? Set him up. Don't go 1-for-1. Go and make the play. Now, does that look exactly like that defensive clip? Not exactly like it, but the principle is still there in my mind. That's that guard trying to kick him out. There's the quarterback. Whatever you want to see it as, that's how a lot of it makes sense to these guys because they play so much defense. They play so much offense, whatever it may be. These concepts start to overlap and they start to be really similar. Okay, and then here's an awesome clip from the past couple years. Okay, number 8, number 12, as they're running down, they're just creating havoc. It's a mentality too. We talk all we want about technique, okay, but it's a mentality. You want to make sure that you're the toughest dude out there while you're doing it, okay, and it's a choice and it's effort, but it's being tough, and that's the type of stuff we want the guys that we play when they come back out on the field to say, damn, man, I don't want to go against that guy because this guy's going so hard, or he's going harder than me, or I have a tough time matching up. We want guys to start to think that when we play them. Okay, kickoff return. I don't want to go over on time, guys, if I'm rolling. If you need me to cut off, just let me know. Okay, kickoff return. You guys still got me?
Yeah, we got you.
Cool. Kickoff return. Our unit goals. It's the same. When we talk about each unit, we have a select 1 or 2 or 3 goals. So we want to get the first down. That's just 10 yards. We want to get out past the 25. If we can get our first down for our offense, that's a plus for us. And then to do that, we want to strain longer than the returner. Those are guys that are blocking on the front line. Those are ends or fullbacks or whatever you want to call them. Those are guys that are working in front of the ball carrier to go and make that stuff happen. We want to strain longer than him because if we do and we give him just that little window of opportunity, now we're going to have something really good. We're going to have a lot more than that first down that we just talked about. Okay, so now flip it in your mind. Kickoff return. The black circle is who we're talking of now, but ball me man. It comes through in every single thing that we talk about. Coverage, blocking responsibilities, whatever it is. This left picture, okay, there's 2 guys covering down because that's typically what is a kickoff return guy. But I just want to know, where's the ball, in my view, as a kickoff return guy? Where should it be going? And then who do I have to block to get in between that ball? So that's the picture on the left. Okay, I have my leverage in this case. I'm already lined up between that guy and the ball. I just need to maintain it. Now the picture on the right, okay, I'm a little bit outside. So I don't have my leverage in this case. So I have to go and get it. I have to go at an angle and I have to go at a certain speed where I can go get that leverage and I can go and block the same guy that I needed to block, but I have to maintain ball-me-man relationship. So that's just, again, that's a concept. You can take scheme, you can throw it out the window. This is just a concept on how you get in position to block. Okay, so this one right here, okay, as we look at it, okay, right here, the guy in orange, he's got his leverage. He drops over. He doesn't have to go too far because he's already got his leverage. But what I like about it is that he's got independent feet. And right here at the moment of the point of contact, okay, he strikes his hands. That's key when we're blocking. This looks like a receiver doing a perimeter block. So there he is, getting connected, staying connected. Now we do the same drill, okay, with our receiver. He's got these banked reps set up. There he is on the left. This looks like the drill that he just did on KOR. Okay, he gets in position. He knows where the ball is supposed to go. Right there, boom. Get connected, stay connected. Just for that split second, man. Strain longer than the returner. Now we got a touchdown right out the gate. That's good stuff. But that all comes through, not because of what we do on special teams, but the concept comes through and it makes sense to our guys that see it. They say, oh, okay, I'm a receiver. I'm perimeter blocking. That's how we relate it to a lot of what they do. Okay, and then right here, this guy at tackle on the right side, or whatever you want to call him, the guy on the right. Okay, here he is. He's blocking, maintaining ball-me-man relationship. He knows that the ball is going to be on his left, so that means he shouldn't get beat to his left. He's got to maintain that relationship. Okay, and there he is, straining. Stay connected. Don't stop till you hear that whistle. That's the goal. Right here, again, you either have your leverage or you don't. He knows he's got to go and block one of those guys. In this case, it's that third guy. He didn't have to go real far to go and do that. Okay, he knew right off the bat, that guy, he's got to block. He has his leverage. So drop, flip, independent feet, and boom, stamp his ass right there and stay connected and strain. Okay, we get a flag that comes in late. But right here, that doesn't happen with 38 not straining the way that he did. Okay, as we keep going here, NFL. Okay, this is a great clip. This is a great clip to show for body position, okay, how to block somebody, how to strain, leverage, all the above. This guy right here, okay, he drops to get to where he's going. He has a certain alignment and scheme. He knows he's got to block that fifth guy. Okay, right there as he makes contact, great body position. He's sliding his feet. He's staying connected, and he's playing clean. So all those things coming together, okay, you got some dangerous stuff going on. One last time, this center right here in the middle. Okay, he's dropping. I just love his patience to it. He's smooth. He's not panicking. He's not ducking away from contact. He's doing everything right.
Is that the Commanders or the Chiefs?
That's Donovan's Commanders right there.
Don't know who the Commanders are.
You don't recognize, okay.
Yes, you do.
Washington.
No, not in those stupid black uniforms.
All right, so skipping to the game clips here. This is, I don't have my leverage. I got to go run at an angle to go get it. Here he goes. He's running at a little bit of a flatter angle, but now I get to the same position that I'm in. Okay, and kickoff return a lot of times is shoulda, woulda, coulda. Oh, we should have returned it if we got this block. That happens all the time. So we like to eliminate as many of those as we can with guys executing in their one-on-one matchups or their double teams, whatever it may be. But all in all, okay, we're singling that one guy out for his technique. Okay, he's running, getting his leverage. Here he goes, sliding his feet. Boom. Now you got to stay connected. Okay, stay connected and don't get beat across your face to the right because we know that's where the ball's got to go. Okay, and then lastly, right here, same thing. He's blocking that 5. He had to run a little bit flatter to go get it. Okay, perimeter blocking, setting our feet. Now we happen to be retreating. That's the hardest part. It's one of the hardest jobs in football is the KOR, front line. Okay, so again, we got a bunch of clips on here. I won't bore you with the rest of them, but those are basically those are kickoff and kickoff return as we know it and how we drill it. So I'll eliminate my screen.
Bring it on back, Coach. I love it. I took away the 3 biggest things I took. I love the buy-in with the one shot, one kill. I got to make the most of it right now, and I just loved how you talked about offensive and defensively, how that it's block, destruction, and then it's perimeter blocking, right? And how all that translated. And just for me, I'm going to use that with our kids, just talking a lot about creating that buy-in. Like I've never heard anybody really sell it from that type of an angle. I thought that was great. I just have one.
And I like the NFL clips too to sell it, to keep on your point, Kyle. That's great. Yeah. That's the best way. Talking about money.
I think a lot of us do that already. If you run, like, for example, when we installed our duo play, like we watched NFL duo clips and we made we paused it and showed them and said, hey, right now, call out our combos and our rules. You know what I mean? And when they can see that, I think you have them really locked in. Coach, there's a lot of resources with offense and defense. It's all over the internet. Guys know where to find stuff, but if somebody wanted to know more, increase their knowledge in special teams, like who's a coach or what are some resources they could turn to?
Yeah, that's a great question because before I started working in special teams, I didn't know much about it. It's funny to say I long snapped, but I didn't know all the different techniques and scheme and all that as it plays out real time when we're playing. I didn't know all that. And I didn't really learn it until I got to Tennessee, or my last year at Miami, but really when I got to Tennessee, and that's all that I did. So that's a great question because it's really not out there as far as maybe a certain person to go and find and watch. I think you can YouTube a lot of stuff and hear people talk. I think the best way to do it, I don't know how it's possible for people that don't have access to it in a building, but if you just watch kickoff cover clips and just see how those different techniques come through, you can start to learn a lot just about scheme on how to cover kicks, but really just about how to set blocks up. In my opinion, on that type of stuff. Like that's one unit just to watch and learn more about, but it relates to defense. I would think of it as a reverse way. Okay, you guys are offense or defensive guys, a lot about X, Y, and Z, whatever it may be. Take the knowledge that you know as an offense or defensive coach and then try to find similarities as it comes out in special teams. How does that relate to what you coach, whether that's perimeter blocking or block destruction, okay, or scheme and how to protect something. As an offensive line guy, how do you draw up a punt scheme and punt pro? A lot of that type of stuff's going to still be all ruled out and all those types of things. That's going to be very similar. So I guess
sounds like there's a void in the market, man. Somebody's somebody's the first to latch on, might be onto something.
Yeah, with lack of not knowing a specific guy, I think if you're able to have the time to do it in high school and devote a little bit of practice time, whether that's at the end or at the very beginning, or maybe it's a walkthrough tempo, I just think doing it alone is going to create a lot of opportunity to learn more about it.
We start practice every day. Our kids know we start practice with special teams every single day.
There you go.
And then every time we end a drive, we end it with either a field goal or a punt when we're in practice. And then same with on defense, we'll end it with our punt return. We either start with kickoff and punt, just because I feel like punt, we focus a ton on punt, because a punt block, I feel like, is one of the most demoralizing things in the football game. And then kickoff is next, because a kickoff return hurts.
No doubt. Yeah, I'm with you.
Coach, man, I appreciate you coming on from a Columbus guy to join the 614 Headsets. We appreciate it. It's awesome to I got a lot of respect for your dad and what he's done, and it's awesome to see you climbing to such high heights already. So we appreciate you coming on and helping us on a special teams way and giving back to this game, and wish you the best of luck now and moving forward in your career.
Yeah, no, thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys just thinking of me, and I know Donovan probably oversold the whole Miami connection, but no, it's good.
We're just glad Donovan brought somebody on the show, man. So thanks for keeping him around for a little longer. Ryan, let's wrap this up, big dog.
Hey, everybody, thank you so much, Coach Crabtree. Thank you so much for coming on, man. Coach Crabs, baby. But no, we appreciate you a ton, man. It was a blast to hear from you. We'll see what this competition looks like. You or Parker or my guy PC, who's going to get the most views or downloads. And that's what we need from all of our viewers. Whoever's viewing us, make sure you download, subscribe, get on our stuff, and make sure that you guys help us out there. Comments, tell us things, and get with us about the all gas teams. Make sure that we do that as well. Comment, and I've had a couple DMs as well too. But thank you guys.
Waiting for you to put them on the list, Ryan.
Huh?
Thoroughly waiting for you to put that on the list.
Oh, I got my own list.
Oh, good. All right. We're going to add it to our list so we can finish it soon.
Oh, I figured that you guys were doing your own. I was going to do my own.
All right. Okay.
Because I'm Mr. All Gas, so you guys got your own. You guys are all gas juniors.
You know what? From
now,
now
you guys ever watch SpongeBob Weenie Hut Junior? That's you guys. You guys are
Listen,
Weenie Hut Juniors.
Here's what we're gonna do. Remember on Pat McAfee where they weren't allowed to use the NFL logos, and so they had to hand draw their graphics a couple times. It was funny. I'm gonna make the graphics for the all gas team. Ryan, you hand draw yours, and we'll present both of them for everybody to see.
I like that.
I love it. It's going to be great.
I'm an artist.
Hey, man, we appreciate everybody. Check it out. Check out our trusted partners and services. Like, we only partner with the best for a reason. And this is all about by coaches, for coaches, and football enthusiasts. So one love, everybody. See you next time.